Life is a journey, and along the way we meet all kinds of people. Friends, mentors, partners, teammates. Some of them feel like they'll be in our lives forever. We share memories, dreams, struggles, and victories with them. They become a part of our story, and we assume they'll be there for every chapter. But then something happens. People change. Circumstances shift. Relationships break. Sometimes, without warning, someone we thought would always be there suddenly isn't. And it hurts. It's confusing. You start asking yourself, what went wrong? Did I do something? Why did they leave? But the truth is, not everyone is meant to stay. Think about it. Life moves in seasons. Just like trees shed their leaves in the fall, sometimes we have to let go of people when their season in our lives is over. Imagine if trees refused to let go of dead leaves. What would happen? The tree wouldn't grow, and the new leaves wouldn't have space to bloom. The same goes for us. Holding on to people who are no longer meant to be in our lives stops us from growing into who we're meant to be. Some people were only sent to teach you a lesson. Others were there to push you in the right direction. And some, they were simply part of a chapter, not the whole book. The problem is, we get so attached that we try to force people to stay even when their role in our story is over. We chase friendships that have run their course. We beg people to stay who were meant to leave. And in doing so, we block the blessings that come with letting go. It's not easy. Letting go feels like loss. It feels like failure. But what if I told you it's actually making space for something better? What if the very people you're holding on to are keeping you from the next level of your life? What if your breakthrough is waiting for you, but you can't reach it because your hands are too full of the past? We often think that losing people is a setback, but in reality, it's a setup. A setup for growth, a setup for transformation, a setup for something greater than you can imagine. But we won't see it until we stop looking back. Some people weren't meant to go where you're going. Some relationships were never meant to be permanent. And that's okay, because when you finally let go, when you finally stop clinging to what's already gone, that's when you make room for what's next. Growth is one of the most uncomfortable things you will ever experience. Everyone wants to grow, level up, and become the best version of themselves. But what nobody talks about is the price of growth. And that price? Letting go. See, you can't climb a mountain while carrying unnecessary weight. You can't step into your future while clinging to your past. Imagine trying to run a race while dragging a heavy bag full of old mistakes, toxic relationships, past failures, and outdated mindsets. How far do you think you'd get? Not very far. Letting go isn't just about cutting people off. It's about releasing the things that no longer serve you. Doubt, fear, resentment, bad habits, comfort zones. Because the truth is, you can't grow into a new version of yourself while holding on to the old one. You can't become stronger if you refuse to let go of weakness. You can't step into confidence if you're still holding on to insecurity. And you can't embrace the future if your hands are gripping what's already gone. Think of a snake. To grow, it has to shed its skin. If it refuses, that old skin will suffocate it. The same applies to us. When we resist change, when we refuse to release what's weighing us down, we stunt our own growth. We wonder why we feel stuck, why life feels heavy, why we can't seem to move forward. But have we stopped to ask ourselves, what am I holding on to that I should have let go of a long time ago? Sometimes what we're clinging to is the very thing holding us back, the friendships that feel forced, the relationships that drain us more than they fill us, the environments that no longer inspire us, the habits that keep us in cycles of frustration. Yet we hold on because of fear. Fear of change, fear of being alone, fear of the unknown. But here's the thing, you can't step into your purpose while being weighed down by your past. You weren't meant to stay the same forever. Who you were 5 years ago isn't who you are today. And who you are today isn't who you're meant to be 5 years from now. Growth demands change. It demands sacrifice. It demands that you leave behind the things, the people, and the mindsets that no longer align with where you're going. We say we want success, but are we willing to let go of the distractions? We say we want peace, but are we willing to let go of the grudges? We say we want happiness, but are we willing to let go of the things that bring us stress? Growth is painful, but staying the same is even worse. Letting go isn't losing, it's making space. It's choosing progress over comfort. It's choosing the future over the past. It's realizing that you can't take everything and everyone with you. Some things and some people are only meant to be part of a chapter, not the whole book. And the sooner you let go, the sooner you can step into everything that was always meant for you. Sometimes life doesn't make sense. You work hard, you give your best, you pray, you hope, and still, things fall apart. Doors close, people walk away. Dreams seem to slip through your fingers just when you thought you were close. And in those moments, it's easy to feel lost. It's easy to question, why is this happening? Why me? Why now? But here's what you have to understand. God's plan is bigger than what you can see right now. See, we only see a small part of the picture. We see the moment of disappointment, the heartbreak, the setback. But God, He sees the full masterpiece. He sees the doors that need to close so better ones can open. He sees the people who need to leave so the right ones can enter. He sees the pain that will eventually turn into purpose. What feels like a dead end to us is often just a detour leading to something greater. That job you lost, maybe God was removing it so you could step into something better. That relationship that ended, maybe it wasn't meant to be part of your destiny. That opportunity that slipped away, maybe it wasn't a loss, it was protection. Because when God says no, He's not rejecting you. He's redirecting you. He's leading you towards something that fits your future, not just your present. We get so caught up in our own plans that we forget God's plan is always greater. We want things to happen on our timeline, but He knows exactly when the right time is. We think we know what's best, but He sees the dangers we can't. He sees the opportunities we don't even know exist yet. So when things don't go your way, when life doesn't make sense, when you feel like giving up, remember this: God is still in control. The story isn't over. The setback is just a setup. The delay is not a denial. And what's ahead of you is greater than what's behind you. Because when God has a plan for your life, no mistake, no failure, no betrayal, and no storm can stop it. You just have to trust that His plan is bigger than anything you can imagine. Life is like a game. Every level comes with new challenges, new obstacles, and new opportunities. But here's the thing. You can't move to the next level if you keep looking back at the old one. Too many people get stuck because they refuse to let go of what's behind them. They replay past mistakes, dwell on what could have been, and hold on to relationships, habits, and mindsets that no longer serve them. But if you're serious about leveling up, you have to understand this. The past is a place of reference, not a place of residence. Think about a video game. Every time you complete a level, the game doesn't let you go back and redo it just for fun. Why? Because that level is done. You passed the test. You overcame the boss fight. Now it's time to move forward. But imagine if you kept trying to replay level 1 when you were meant for level 10. Level 10 is yours, you know. You'd never grow. You never see new opportunities. You'd never reach your full potential. Maybe you made mistakes in the past. Maybe you failed. Maybe you trusted the wrong people, wasted time, or stayed in a situation longer than you should have. But guess what? That chapter is over. The only thing you should take from it is the lesson. Everything else, let it go. Because if you keep turning around, you'll miss what's in front of you. Lot's wife in the Bible had one job: don't look back. But she couldn't resist. She turned around, still attached to what she was leaving behind, and it destroyed her. And that's what happens when we refuse to move forward. We stay stuck. We miss out. We sabotage our own future because we're too busy holding on to what's already gone. Look, leveling up isn't just about achieving success. It's about becoming a new version of yourself. And becoming that person means you have to let go of the old version of you, the one that settled for less, the one that stayed comfortable, the one that accepted things that weren't good for them. You can't step into your future with the mindset stuck in the past. So just joy, gain honor, be careful, be secure, be protected. You can't reach new heights while dragging old baggage. You can't walk through an open door if you're still knocking on a closed one. So here's the truth. You were made for more. The past was preparation, not a prison. And if you want to win, you need to stop looking back at what's already done and start focusing on what's ahead. Because the future is calling, the next level is waiting. But you have to decide, are you moving forward or are you staying stuck?